Modern life drags us into a constant cycle of work, responsibilities, and social pressures. To find peace, we need to learn to let go of the things that stress our minds. This does not mean giving up responsibilities, but rather accepting everything with a calm mind. Imagine a young man living in a big city where the pressures of work and family expectations make him feel suffocated. One day, he decides to leave everything behind and go to the mountains to meditate for a week. There, he learns how to breathe, how to feel nature, and how to face himself without being distracted by his phone or work. When he returns to the city, he feels more peaceful and can face the pressure with more ease. Tranquility does not come from avoiding, but from facing oneself and learning to transform negative emotions. Kindness is an important quality, not only demonstrated through great actions, but also through small daily things. We can practice kindness by helping others, forgiving mistakes, and treating people with tolerance. An old man had been treated badly by his neighbor for many years, but when that neighbor was in trouble, he still decided to help. When asked why he did so, he just smiled and said, "I did not help him to repay him, but to not violate my conscience." The story has touched many people and changed their perspective on tolerance. Kindness is not a weakness, but the strength of a strong soul, ready to be tolerant and share, not for personal gain. Life is not only determined by talent, but also by our attitude towards work and challenges. A positive attitude helps us turn failures into lessons and motivates us to move forward. In a small village, 3 masons were doing the same job. When asked, the first saw only the wall in front of them, the second saw a big project, and the third dreamed of a modern city. After 10 years, the first was still a mason, the second became an engineer, and the third was an architect and a leader. The difference lies in the vision and passion for work. Attitude determines our position in society. Live and work with an open heart and great aspirations. Parents are the ones who gave birth to and raised us. While we were young, parents took care of us and sacrificed everything for their children. When they grew up, children need to repay and take care of their parents because time waits for no one. A woman was so busy with work that she had no time for her elderly parents. When her parents passed away, she realized that time could not be turned back. She lived in regret for the rest of her life and decided to help other lonely elderly people to atone for her mistakes. Filial piety is not only a duty, but also a gratitude. When we take care of our parents, we not only do it for them, but also nurture our souls. Fate comes and goes in life is inevitable. Every meeting or parting has its own reason and meaning. Learning to accept and cherish fate helps us live more peacefully. A pair of close friends from high school once thought they would never be apart. But after many years, they went their separate ways. When they met again, they realized that although they were no longer the same as before, the relationship helped them grow up and have more beautiful memories. Every fate leaves a mark on us. Let's cherish every moment and not dwell on the past. Kindness is a force that can influence people and create positive changes in society. Sow the seeds of goodness, and you will see miracles happen. A man who used to live in sin, but thanks to the help and forgiveness of others, he changed and became a good person. His story inspires many people. Kindness is not to receive, but to spread good values. Small actions can also change a life. Life is short and full of challenges, but how we face it is important. Live it to the fullest with gratitude, tolerance, and love. Life is not about competing or comparing, but about experiencing, feeling, and learning to love yourself and others. Modern life makes many people get caught up in the whirlwind of work, goals, and endless expectations. We often forget the value of simple moments just because we are busy chasing after distant things. Slowing down does not mean giving up on aspirations, but is a way to return to yourself, to listen to what you truly want. A successful businessman always worked 18 hours a day to build his career and make money. However, he was not happy, and his health was deteriorating. One day, when he was diagnosed with a serious illness, he was forced to stop working and take time for himself. During this time, he began to realize the value of family meals, conversations with his children, and afternoons sitting under the shade of trees, listening to the birds chirping. As his health gradually recovered, he decided to reduce his work and live more slowly, no longer racing against time like before. Slowing down is to feel, to love, and to find true joy in simple things. When you live every moment to the fullest, you will see that happiness is always around you. Attachment is one of the main causes of human suffering. Holding on to the past, the hurt or failure, only makes our souls heavier. Letting go does not mean forgetting, but learning to accept and let the mind move on lightly. A monk told about a student who always carried a heavy bag of rocks with him, refusing to let go because he thought it was proof of his wounds and failures in life. When asked why he did not let go to lighten his soul, the student just shook his head because he thought he had to suffer the consequences of what he had experienced. The monk smiled and said, "Only when you let go of the bag of rocks can you walk faster and further. What you have experienced is a lesson, not a burden forever." Learning to let go is the first step to freeing yourself from suffering and stress. It is a process of transformation, not of giving up responsibility, but of accepting and overcoming. An optimistic attitude helps us overcome challenges in life with a more positive outlook. It is the ability to find light in the darkness, hope in adversity, and the will not to give up. A positive attitude not only helps you develop yourself, but also spreads good energy to those around you. During a major earthquake, people found a boy trapped under the rubble for 3 days. When he was rescued, the boy still smiled brightly and said, "I believe that everyone will come to save me." An optimistic attitude and faith helped the boy overcome harsh circumstances, touching everyone. Optimism is not living in illusions, but the strength to face and overcome difficulties. When the mind is bright, every challenge becomes a valuable lesson. Family is a place that nurtures love, a peaceful haven when we are tired. No matter how many difficulties there are outside, family is always a solid support and the greatest source of encouragement for each person. But sometimes, we unintentionally forget the value of family because we are busy pursuing other things. A successful man, but no longer has a close connection with his wife and children. When faced with the loss of his family, he realized that money cannot make up for love and sincere care. He decided to spend more time with his family and rebuild relationships with loved ones. Love and care are not things that can be bought with money. Family is the fire that warms the soul and gives meaning to life. Life is never perfect, but we can find happiness when we know how to feel and appreciate what we have. Instead of chasing after external things, learn to turn inward, find peace and contentment in every moment. Happiness is not far away. It lies in every breath, in every smile, and in every moment you live with gratitude and love. Live each day to the fullest, so that when you look back, you have no regrets. Forgiveness is a noble act, but it is not easy. When someone hurts us, hatred and suffering often make it difficult for us to let go. However, holding on to resentment only makes us feel heavy and loses the opportunity to enjoy life. Forgiveness is not a sign of weakness, but a sign of a strong heart. A woman lost everything due to the actions of a traitor. At first, she was immersed in hatred and suffering. After many years, when she accidentally met that person again, she decided to forgive. At that time, she felt a huge burden was lifted, and from then on, she began to live with joy and freedom. "Forgiveness is a gift I give to myself," she said. Forgiveness is not only freeing others, but also freeing yourself from psychological constraints. Learning to forgive is learning to let go of the burden of the past and open your heart to better things. In life, many people often fall into two opposing states, either sacrificing themselves too much for others or thinking only of themselves and forgetting about those around them. The secret lies in balance, living for others but not forgetting yourself, and vice versa. A single mother worked hard to take care of her children, but forgot to take care of herself. After many years, her health seriously declined, and she could not continue working. Her grown child told her, "Mom, I just need you to be healthy by my side. You don't need to sacrifice so much." She realized that only by taking good care of herself could she continue to accompany and love her child. Balancing living for yourself and living for others is a difficult lesson, but necessary to maintain mental and physical health. Remember, you cannot help others when you are exhausted. People always crave more than what they have, which sometimes leads to dissatisfaction and suffering. Knowing enough does not mean stopping striving, but realizing the value of what we have and appreciating it. That brings peace of mind. There was a rich merchant who always wanted to own more wealth. Although he had plenty of money, he still did not feel happy. One day, he met a farmer who lived in a simple house, but always smiled and was satisfied with life. The merchant asked, "How can you be happy when you have nothing?" The farmer replied, "I have a family, food to eat, a peaceful sleep. That's all I need." The words awakened the merchant, and he began to change his way of life. Happiness does not come from having everything, but from knowing enough with what we have. When we know enough, we will know how to appreciate every moment in life. We often live in the past or worry about the future, forgetting that the present is the only thing we really have. When we focus on the present, we can enjoy every moment and live more fully. A student was haunted by past mistakes and afraid of what would happen in the future. His teacher said, "Focus on this moment, because it is all you can control." Gradually, the student realized that focusing on the present helped him live more intensely and worry less. The present is the most precious gift that life has to offer. Don't let it pass by in regret or worry. Love is not only about relationships between people, but also about how we treat the world around us. Love warms our hearts, brings connection and a sense of belonging. A group of people living in a small village overcame a natural disaster by supporting each other. They shared food, encouraged each other, and did not abandon anyone. After the disaster, they became more connected and appreciated each other. The power of love helped them overcome adversity. When we love and open our hearts to others, we not only receive love in return, but we also create the strength to overcome all challenges in life. Life can be difficult, but our attitude determines how we face and overcome it. Live lightly, love yourself and those around you, and forgive your mistakes and those of others. Don't let life become burdened by things you cannot control. Live with gratitude, love, and tolerance. Then life will become more meaningful, and you will find true peace in your soul.